So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming today to the Design Review Board of December 20th. If we could start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So first we'll start with attendance.
So noted.
Perfect. And then, is anybody here for public comment that's not one of the applicants? Having seen none, we'll go ahead and close public comment. Next, we have approval of the minutes from December 4th. I've had a chance to look them over, and actually December 6th. Unless there's any changes, I'd like a motion.
Motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
Motion by Treasurer Shostak.
Support.
Support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Next, we have new items. So we have signs. First with 3500 West Maple Road. And we'll start with Andrea will present, and then you can come on up, introduce yourself, and add.
Okay, so what we have before you today is a proposal for, actually it's a refacing of a sign. So the cabinet is to remain the same, but it's a new face. The property that we're referring to is located down here in the, this is north of Maple Road, just west of Losser in the Bloomfield Village Shopping Center. There is an office building which is located here. The address is 3500. The property is zoned B1, which is our business classification. The current sign, as you can see on the building, which is located in the left-hand corner, was previously approved. The applicant is permitted, based on the percentage of the facade of the building, they are permitted to have a sign up to 52 square feet. In this instance, they are providing a 30 square foot sign, which is the same that was previously approved, because as I stated later, they'll be using the same cabinet. They do have a new tenant coming in, which is the Maple Family Dental, and then we also do have the Bloomfield Team Sales and Office, which is already an existing tenant within the building. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions, and if you would like to come up and answer any questions as well.
Sure.
Frank Roy, presenting Bazi Sign, and we are the actual, the company that is going to be manufacturing the faces for the doctor, Dr. Lisa. I can't remember her last name, but you know. Papson. You know. So this is an existing sign, as Andrea said. We're not touching the box. The box is going to remain on the wall. And then we just basically removing, there are two faces. If you see the Bloomfield Team Sales Office and the Maple Dental, that's going to be one piece. And then there is a retainer that separates where the phone number is. We're going to replace that phone number with her new phone number. She's currently occupying, I believe, Suite B. And then Bloomfield Team Sales Office, they're occupying Suite A and C.
Any questions?
We did receive an approval from the landlord. Obviously, he had to approve it, and that's already submitted as well. So you guys should have that.
Is it the same landlord as the shopping center?
Correct.
So there's.
He had to make us change a few things. He didn't like the color. He didn't this. Okay. You know.
I have no questions.
Very patriotic now.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue. So if there's no questions, then I'd look for a motion.
I'll move that we approve the sign as submitted.
Motion by Treasurer Shostak, support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
That does pass.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll be
You
submitting.
still have to apply in the building department. Don't put your glasses.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
That would be nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So next we have 2242 South Telegraph Road, and we have a ground sign. Again, we'll start with Andrea, and then you can come on up after.
Okay, this is the site we have here at 2242 is an office building. The property itself, this is north of Square Lake. This is on the west side of Telegraph. And this is a property in which they do currently have a wall sign. However, as part of the approval for this ground sign, I would recommend that the Design Review Board recognizes that the applicant will also remove the existing wall sign, which is what was presented, because we don't want to have two signs there, obviously, without the proper approval. But what they are proposing is a new ground sign. You can see it up here on your screen. I did speak with the applicant, and they did provide, they are providing a landscape plan. I'm sure the applicant here could also answer any questions related to that, but we did provide them a requirement to screen the ground, to landscape the ground sign. And it does have 2 tenants located on there currently. And I guess I would also consider if the board, if they so choose, would agree to allow for tenant panels to be located in there if they match the same coloration maybe. We've done that in the past where if we've had a ground sign come and there's open tenant spaces, that if it was a brown backing with white lettering and match, that we could consider that as acceptable and not have to bring that panel back to the design review board. So it does meet the setback requirements. It's actually 30 foot at that point from the right-of-way into Telegraph Road, which is the requirement in our ordinance that it's at least 25 feet from the right-of-way, and this actually does comply with the setback, remarkably so. So it does comply, no variances are required. Yeah, this is just south of the former, the Evola Music building. We're familiar with that building.
I love the rendering, by the way. This is so helpful for those of us not in building to see what you mean, so thank you for that. I appreciate it.
And you can see here this 30-foot setback from the right-of-way line of Telegraph to where the sign will be located. And with that, I'm happy to answer your questions. I know we have a representative here from Phillips Signs as well.
Okay, great. Come on up.
Good afternoon. I'm Stephen Bretz. I'm with Phillips Sign and Lighting, representing Jimmy Vola for this project. As Andrea said, pretty simple sign, just a 32 square foot sign with 2 tenants that are current in there, and he's going to have a 3rd tenant here. By the time the sign goes up, one of those tenant signs will be filled. He doesn't know exactly which tenant's going to fill it, but there'll be at least one more face. I mean, one of those faces will be filled by the time the sign goes up in a couple months or whatever. I do have an updated copies though, because I think was it Andrea told me we had to point out the species of the flowers or whatever that were there. So I actually reached out to the client and he actually told me exactly what he wanted. So it was kind of amazing. But so I do have an updated versions of this, of you know, what you have
If you'd like
up
to share
there.
with the board what
Sure.
you're proposing for plantings? Oh, thank you.
Similar to what's up there, but
Thank you
the
so
client
much.
actually had his own idea of what kind of flowers he wanted to put there. We updated that yesterday. And as Andrea said, they do have a wall sign up there. I don't know if you have a picture of that, but it's a pretty ugly thing up there, and it's also
Can't really see
outdated. I've got pictures of it if you needed to see them, but we're taking those down for him. He doesn't need them up anymore, so it really needs to clean up the. I actually could show you these if you're not familiar with it. I only have
Oh, yeah.
one copy, but
I'm definitely familiar with the
it's
spot.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to confirm what you said, Andrea, earlier, if they take the wall sign down, then the ground sign's permitted under the zoning, they don't need a variance or anything like that?
Correct.
And the size, the setback is in
It's
compliance?
compliant, 25
The
feet
size is in
requirement.
compliance? I heard, that's what I thought I heard you say. Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
And they are taking it down, the wall.
correct, and
Yeah,
that
that's-
would be a condition of any permit.
Yeah, as part of the contract, that's what we're doing. So it'll be item number 1 is this sign, and item number 2 is removing his wall sign. So,
We could always say in the motion pending removal, yeah.
Subject to, with
Yeah.
approval, subject to, yeah.
Correct,
Mhm.
yeah. And then with the tenants, what you're asking, Andrea, was as long as it's the same font, the same color, no logo kind of vibe, to just make it easier to allow you to approve administratively, your team, was that also, that's also the ask? Because we do normally, as long as it's in the same family, without the logos and such, that it wouldn't necessarily need to come before us for colors and anything anymore. If anybody's
Does
okay
it
with
have to
that.
be without logos?
Well, she's saying that as long as it's this, like, let's say that it comes
matches.
together, it's that font and it's just a name, it's literally the same. Usually if people are coming with logos, there's some other things that they'll bring to us if it's outside of the size or
Yeah.
anything, but if it's
Yeah.
usually just this,
But if it's a logo with inside the size requirements, that it's
then
not.
if there's anything that needs review, like if it's a logo has to be smaller than a certain percentage.
We would,
anything outside
yeah,
of it,
we would bring anything back to the design review board that differs from
Yeah.
that design.
Then it would come
Okay.
back.
But we're asking you to consider that if new signs are of that design, that we can accept them administratively and allow them to include them in the ground sign.
Yeah, 'cause some of them are going towards this, just keeping it simple.
Got it.
yeah, I believe the tenant that's going to be coming is another law firm, so it'll just be a simple sign, like the ones that are up there already.
Great.
And we would ask, obviously, that that's presented from Phillips Signs to our department.
I don't have any questions.
Questions? This is a lovely, again, I love when renderings, this helps a lot. So if there's no other questions, I'd look for a motion.
Well, how about I make a motion, I'll try anyways, that we, subject to the removal of the wall sign, would approve the ground sign as presented, and including the, the landscaping,
Landscaping, yes, percent.
and to permit future panels that conform with the scheme and color that has been presented to today.
We have a motion by Clerk Brooke,
Support.
support by Treasurer Shostak. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That does pass. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Next, we have, are there any recent design review board approvals to look over?
No, there are not.
All right. And then our next meeting date is Wednesday, January 3rd. Actually, is that one postponed?
It's actually was canceled. It will be
Okay.
canceled due to the
So
holiday
it'll be the
season.
17th?
We'll be back, it's the 16th or 17th? It
Yeah.
could be the 17th?
Okay, great. Perfect. Then with
Thank
that,
you.
I'd look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support?
Motion by Treasurer Shostak and support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That does pass.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a happy holiday.
You too.
Happy holiday.